Hey guys, welcome back to the next episode of West Carolina University. We're continuing on as an undefeated season is looking more and more of a real possibility. But we got ourselves a matchup with Georgia State, and we have yet to beat them so far in our history. We've had some close games, and they've also blown us out. So this is time for revenge against them. So here we go, kicking this thing away. We are on the road for this one, as it's also a crucial game for our conference standings to make it to the second straight conference championship game. Taylor Rambo just having yet another killer season, 19-to-1 touchdown ratio. His yards are just a little lower than we would like because Montel Major's been just such a beast at running back. So we're just trying to continue to feed him the rock. He hasn't had as many yards as we would want him to, but we're going to try to be balanced out there. Good throw. Taylor Rambo just finding the open guy, Ron Marshall, doing what he needs to. But right now the run game looks like it's working pretty well until I say that. But it's 3rd and 7. Little pump fake for Rambo. Just nobody open fast enough. And we're going to have to punt that away. And it's going to get blocked. Oh my gosh, guys. That is not how we wanted to start this game. Oh my gosh, guys. We got to stop doing that. They have an awesome chance to be able to score here. And it's going to be a strip sack from Sheldon Dennis. And we just somehow can't get the ball. Terrell was right there. Oh my gosh. Such a huge play from Sheldon Dennis to not come away with the ball. Wyatt Wright getting another sack. Wyatt Wright, that is his 10th sack of the season. That officially breaks the record. He has the most in a single season. So they'll punt it away and we're going to have the ball right back. But kudos to Wyatt Wright getting that record. One of the first records broken this season. Will he continue to keep breaking more of them? I don't think he has a chance to be our technically our career leader. Just because he's only been playing 2 years and we didn't really rush him that much the first season, as I think we thought it was a read option. So a little blunder there from Taylor Rambo, but we'll still pick up the first. 1st down and 10. Going to try to scramble out with it. I wish he would have just stayed in the pocket. I feel like we would have had a better opportunity there. As he's going to find the open man to Montel Major, who's going to pick up the first. What a good route combo from Montel Major, and there's a drop. Darnell Jackson's one of the more sure-handed receivers on this team. And Montel Major also dropping the ball. So apparently we're all just dropping everything out there, and it's just not going to be enough for the first. We're going to have to try to kick a field goal. This is a pretty quick one. Oh my gosh, I thought they almost blocked that. And there is a flag. Did they hit the kicker? Yes! They hit the kicker. We're going to get the ball again. Sorry if my voice sounds still a little under the weather. I don't know what's up with it, but it's been off for a while now. But we'll get the ball in great field position. Can we put up some points? 3rd down and 2. Little dump off to Darnell Jackson in the flat, and he's going to get the first. So at the end of the first quarter, still scoreless. It's kind of not often that we have a scoreless game. They have -5 total yards. So we're just going to try to hand this thing back off to Montel Major, and he's going to score the touchdown. The game's first points on the board as the Megalodons are up 7-0. So will the Panthers answer? And they go down. Terrell Pace getting in there again. 2nd down and long. Already multiple sacks from this day. Wow, Terrell Pace couldn't get the tackle, but we still get the TFL. Going to bring up a 3rd and long. We're able to just assume pass, and that's a wide open receiver. The tight end has a massive gain all the way down to the 18. There was definitely a lapse in coverage, and their no huddle is definitely starting to put a big toll on our defense. Our alignments are messed up. Our zones are messed up. It's been very tough for us to be able to stay in front of these guys, and they're going to be down to the 1. So can we get a stop? Motioning out the running back. It's going to be a strip sack. And Jimmy Ferreira, I think he fell on it. He did. Jimmy Ferreira is going to get the ball back, and we keep it a lead for West Carolina. The fans are absolutely shook. Nick Campbell was a transfer in last season, or honestly 2 seasons ago, and he has not really made much of an impact, but that is a massive impact play. 1st and 10 after the nice little screen pass, and just gets a yard. Definitely looked like more than a yard there. But instead, we'll just go underneath to Ron Marshall. Look how fast he gets upfield. Sometimes on those little hitch routes, they just kind of dilly-dally around for too long. Ron Marshall, though, just putting his feet in the dirt and getting upfield. Good little scramble off from Taylor Rambo, not making the risky pass. And we are going to keep picking up these first downs. Montel gets a big hit on him, though. Just about at midfield. Open man to Ron Marshall, and he can't hold on. was so close for an opportunity there. Again, wide open, but this time it's Julius Buford who's out of bounds after a huge gain. We're down to the 30-yard line. This has been one of the fastest rebuilds we've really had. Oh, that was such a close pass too. Needed to throw that a little bit earlier, but instead it's, oh, and same for that. It's just 3rd and 10 now. Trying to find somebody over the middle. Good throw to Darnell Jackson for a first down. 1st and goal situation, and it's going to be intercepted. There's no way. Nobody's going to catch him, though. And that's going to be so unfortunate. One of the second interceptions of Taylor Rambo's season is a 91-yard pick six. Unbelievable. He had him by a couple feet, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he was fully in front of him, and then the pass was just not quick enough to get to Darnell Jackson. I feel like I'd throw that 10 out of 10 more times. What a heads-up play from Fabian Keith to be able to jump that route. That is such a great play from the Georgia State defense. And that's a play you just gotta shake your head and move on. Montel just trying to get back involved in this game. Taylor Rambo's going to scroll out. There's an open guy. It's Ron Marshall for another, or actually that's Lamar Mankins for a huge gain. 1st and 10 after the nice pickup. We got Ron Marshall over the middle, and it's going to be a good gain. Down to the 20-yard line already. And that was just hit as he throws. Offensive line really not able to keep this Georgia State pass rush there, as that is just too much air. 16 seconds left in the half. Good throw in the post. Darnell Jackson gets it up to the 4. Trying to run with it, down to 8 seconds left. Calls a timeout, runs it up the middle for Cam Teague and is in for the touchdown. And we're going to go up by 7 again. Cam Teague just so reliable down there. So we'll go into the half 14-7. So we've only allowed 62 yards of total offense and sacked them 5 times. Georgia State will be receiving the ball to start the half, as they are only down 7 points right now. It's kind of a lucky 7 points though, to be honest, with the pick 6. I really feel like it should be 21-0 right now, but their no huddle game is really demolishing us, trying to get all of our zones across the field as quickly as it is. I don't know why the no huddle automatically just always has everybody on the opposite side of the field supposed to be covering the complete other side, but it really messes up your alignment, as they're just going to try to continue to pound the rock. It is not working well for them, really at all. And that one was almost intercepted too. Good hit from Terrell Pace to draw the ball loose, and we will get the ball back. Evan Rhodes going to get one of his first opportunities to make a return. 1st and 10, handing the ball back off to Montel Masia, who's going to find a little crease and gets about 5 yards. Montel's been getting quite a lot of work in this game so far. Trying to scroll out. Taylor Rambo, wide open throw. And there's a flag down. And it's going to be offensive PI. Is that what that just said? Offensive PI for our running back. That's absurd. But there we go. We're going to hand the ball off to Cole Turner, and he gets a few. 3rd down and 11. Got to pick up quite a bit of yards here. Taylor Rambo just not quite fast enough to get there. Nobody open. Got to be another punt situation. I'm so glad that we actually got that one off and it didn't get blocked this time. But what an excellent punt. Our punting has been pristine when we need it to be, as they're just continuing to run the ball. I mean, they are literally not doing anything but running the ball. This is insane. 1st and 10 again, and what would you know? Another run. I mean, I can basically start run committing every play, but I just have a fear that they're going to burn me over the top, because they've already done it multiple times in this game so far, as that one's just out of bounds. Going to bring up pretty much a very quick 3 and out, to be honest, giving us another opportunity to try to end this game. Can we get another score? Good vision from Montel to get 3. Definitely could have had less. Gonna throw it over to Marshall, who holds on. Good catch from Ron Marshall. Nobody open. Just need some shorter developing routes. Montel's gonna somehow fight for 2. Takes it to a 3rd and medium, and that could have been almost intercepted. All right, Taylor, we gotta settle down here, bud. You threw an interception for the first time in multiple games, and wow, our punter just nailed it at the 1. I mean, we have a chance of getting a safety again. Maybe we blitz a run commit, and it works out perfection. Let's go. 2 points on the board, as we're going to get the safety. I didn't even see who ended up getting in there. Jadeon and Jared Moma. So not only do we end their possession, but we also get the ball. And we're up by 9 points. Montel Major going to make a nice cut move, and he's going down the sideline of the 20 to the 10. Montel Major is going to walk this thing in for the touchdown, and we're busting the score open. What a play from Montel Major. Again, not the shiftiest of runners, but sometimes he finds a way to make the play that we need. Taking that from our own about 35-yard line and taking that thing to the crib. Gonna go for the 2-point conversion here just to stretch the lead a little bit back, and we'll get there. Good job from Darnell Jackson. That will make it now basically a 3-possession lead, realistically, and that's gonna be a lot tougher for them, as that is somehow a good pass. That was kind of an errant throw, but it ended up working out for them. I don't know why they're running the ball so much, because they're definitely going to lose all their time here, and that's a huge sack from Sheldon Dennis again. Is that his second sack of the day? End of the third quarter, though, 24-7. So here we go then, 3rd and 17. This is a long pickup for them, but they really have to do it now that it's 4th quarter. They throw it out of bounds. Are they conceding to us by punting the ball away? Or do they think their defense is enough to be able to get a stop? Wow, good job from the pass rush there. Just couldn't get the ball off fast enough. Now we'll try to take advantage of their aggressive pass rush and get 6 yards out of it. 3rd down and 4. Throwing that one, he has a man with a step, and he missed him. Underthrew him. Would have been a touchdown to Ron Marshall. It just didn't get enough air under it. So I guess it panned out for them okay, for their defense to try to be the one to make the stop. Good catch on the 9-yard curl route. Just going to try to go quick, and it's knocked incomplete by Grayson Reynolds. Throwing this thing deep, and he had him beat. He had Tyrone Smithfield beat, but just couldn't pick up the completion. And they are not going to pick up the 4th down conversion, and we're going to get the ball back. In excellent field position here. We have a great opportunity as Montel just runs through him. All we have to do is pick up a couple 1st downs or score, and this game's effectively over. 2nd down and 10 to the end zone. Touchdown for Ron Marshall, and that is gonna seal it. Ron Marshall putting us up by 7 more points, wide open, having such a great season. But so we'll end up winning 38-14 is our final score, really taking it to them after they've beat us for 2 consecutive years, and it feels so sweet to get our revenge against them as Montel Major went off, having almost 150 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. We held Georgia State to just 184 total yards of offense. Taylor Rambo went 19 for 37 for 238 yards, a touchdown and an interception. And then we had Montel Major, again getting 23 rushes for 149 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ron Marshall with 7 catches for 79 yards and a touchdown. Darnell Jackson adding 4 catches for 48 yards. Defensively, Wyatt Wright had 8 tackles in the game and 5 TFLs. That's crazy. 3 for Sheldon Dennis and 2 for DJ Dean. 2 sacks for Wyatt Wright and Sheldon Dennis, with a sack for Nick Campbell. But after the game, Frank Eddy, the defensive tackle, commits to the program. Tyree Dilliard also commits. And Wyatt Wright gets the Sun Belt Defensive Player of the Week with his huge outing. Wyatt Wright also gets the National Defensive Player too. And we have jumped up to number 10 in the country after that win. First time ever being a top 10 team. But next up we got Marshall on the schedule. And Marshall is another team that we win. I feel like we win, we pretty much clinch the division at this point. I really don't think that there's going to be any other teams that are really going to give us a run for our money down the stretch, as we really only have a few games left. So we are undefeated, 9-0, number 10 in the country, playing against Marshall, 3-6 on the season. Having a little down stretch of a season for them. And Taylor Rambo just looking to have his way with another defense. 1st and 10, running the ball back to Montel. Again, Montel just kind of going off as of the last couple weeks of the season. Is there a chance he gets to 1,000 yards? That was a terrible run from Cole Turner. Cole Turner has definitely been a letdown for us this season. I have not been pleased with his efforts, as we're going to go down for the sack and have to punt the ball away. I'm also not pleased with the efforts that we've had on our first drives of the game. I feel like half the time our drives end in a punt or some sort of something that ends with no points. Defensively, though, we've been decently solid in general. Wow, that was so close, Terrell. If Terrell Pace was a little bit faster, that would have been money. That's a huge sack from Jimmy Ferreira, getting to his 10th sack of the season. And yep, there's the stuff for it. So 10 sacks of the season. I figured it was getting close, because he's right behind Wyatt Wright, who's now at 11 sacks of the season. Both of them have officially broke the record. 9 was the previous record for sacks in a season. So this is just such a huge year, considering that both players have already beat that. And Jimmy Ferrer could almost had a pick. So instead, it's going to be a punt situation. I think their punter kind of drilled us deep. Oh, actually, it was a 19. So it wasn't actually as bad as I thought it was going to be. Really looked like that could have been in the single digits. But we'll try to run it off to Montel Major, who's going to get out to the outside. And he gets a good gain of 10 yards. And we're picking up first downs. Little pop pass over to Cole Turner, who's going to get downfield for another 10-yard gain. Go back with a little fake motion this time. See if we can catch him napping. Really can't. Tries to throw it over him, and he missed him. Oh my gosh, Xavier Lee was open too, but he just couldn't get enough air under it. Montel Major just always falls forward. That's just one of his better characteristics. Taylor Rambo finding a way to get the first. He's not known to be such a head-down runner, but that was such a great play from the QB as Ron Marshall gets another huge gain. 1st and 10 situation. Throwing it out to Ron Marshall again. No, it's actually Lamar Mankins. Every time I get them confused, but Lamar is going to get in there for the touchdown, and we're going to take the lead. Lamar Mankins, again, being a transitional player from running back. I think he was a running back over to tight end. He might have been a wide receiver over to tight end. I can't remember, but he was some sort of skill position and moved him to tight end. But he's been just so good for us so far, as of at least the last couple games anyway. He wasn't starting the season that way, but he definitely has been ending it. Gonna have a nice 3 and out, deep in their own territory to punt this thing off to Evan Rhodes, as we'll see if we can get another good return for Evan, and that is actually quite solid. Starting the ball on our 33-yard line to start this drive is excellent opportunity for us to start putting some more points on the board. 2nd and 5. Back up the middle to Montel Major. He was so close to breaking that thing to the house. All he needed was a little bit more speed and he would have had it. But Cole Turner trying to turn on the Jets. It gets to the 1st and goal. So we'll go with the play action fake. Scrambling out of the pocket. Throws and it's caught for the touchdown. Taylor Rambo threading the needle. And Ron Marshall getting another touchdown. On the day, both tight ends absolutely eating. So can Marshall put some points on the board and answer? But at the end of the first quarter, it's 14-0. West Carolina looking to increase our lead. They're gaining 0.6 yards per play. That's absurd. Defense really playing well out there. 3rd down and 3. Gonna screw out of the pocket and just gonna have to throw that one away. Nobody open. Brings up a punt situation on 4th down. Evan Rhodes back to return, and he's just gonna get tackled. So 1st and 10 situation again. We'll go back to play action fake. Open man, and it's Ron Marshall for another massive gain and a 1st down for West Carolina. 1st and 10 situation. Can we put up something? No. Motioning over a receiver, giving the ball off to Montel Major's got blockers in front of him. We just couldn't hold the ones behind us. Had an opportunity to take that one also to the crib, but instead we'll just power forward for the 1st down. Going to move our receiver back across the motion. We didn't like how it looked with him on the other side. And he'll go down with an injury. Okay, well, Montel Major apparently is feeling a little under the weather. That is not good, especially with the postseason looming here shortly, as that's a good pitching catch to Darnell. Down to the 1-yard line, tries a little jet touch pass, and Darnell's going to get in there for the touchdown, increasing the lead by another score, 21-0. Here pretty early on in the 2nd quarter. This one's looking like a rout, potentially. What a shot. Oh my gosh. Kick return team really playing hard, too. Throwing that one underneath, and not much. Underneath is about the only thing that's even remotely open for these guys right now. Open field tackle for Russ Whalen. Russ Whalen has been such a good player, too. So they're going to have to punt the ball away. There's just nobody open yet again. And we have an opportunity to push this. Go with, again, the play action fake. To the running back, nothing. 2nd down and 10. Montel Major just kind of getting balled up as of the last couple plays there. Throws that one and he missed him. Would have been a tight window throw, but he just could not make the throw. And they're just going to have to kick this one away. Somehow he didn't get it off the bounce, and we're going to down him at the 6. We have another opportunity for a safety, maybe. We've had multiple of them so far this season, and that's a drop. Keeping the sake of the safety alive. Another drop. So big 3rd down situation. The safety chance is still alive, but he's going to throw it off his back foot. Way back in. Grayson's going to get the interception. Grayson Reynolds with a huge interception. So we're going to take this thing away, giving us another opportunity in good field position to be able to put up some more points. Open man to Montel Meja. And he's just so open on those wheel routes. We've been trying to incorporate them in the offense a little bit more after we've seen how good they have been. Just as of the last few weeks, trying to use Montel Meja as more of a do-it-all running back. And he is really, really excelling in that new increased role. It's going to be interesting to see his development down the stretch as he just continues to get better and better. Is he always going to be our #1 running back? Are we going to find other people to help bolster that backfield on top of it? Unknown. But right now, that's a wide open guy to Xavier Lee for a touchdown. And we're going to put up another score before the half, as that's 28-0. Taylor Rambo just looks so poised in that backfield. There are not many quarterbacks that can throw it in a window like that. Throwing him low, just exactly what you'll want to see from your quarterback making the smarter throw. It's 28-0 at the half. Terrell Pace is the spotlight player of the game so far, as he has a sack and a couple tackles. But starting with Marshall with the ball, as they just lose another 4 yards. I mean, what is happening right now? It's just not working. Marshall needs to find something different. It is just not effective. And it's going to be an interception from DeAndre Harris. And DeAndre's got an opportunity to take this thing back to the house. Is he fast enough? Yes. DeAndre Harris is going to get an interception, a 41-yard pick six. And you know it's bad when DeAndre Harris is getting interceptions, because normally he's getting his head dunked on or he's getting toasted for a one-play touchdown. And that's the reason DeAndre lost his starting corner spot last year. But he is back in that role, and he is thriving right now against this Marshall team. 2nd down and 7. 35-0. 35-0. That is an insane score right now against these guys. The throw is somehow caught. Sheldon Dennis all over him. Gonna motion their receiver or their running back out into the flat and just can't get much. I've also been thinking a lot about I was talking about the future with Montel Meja, the running back situation. And another situation we're going to have here is our safety position. Sheldon Dennis is one of those. He just muffed the ball. Okay, I'm glad he got it back. But we have just got, 3 safeties in this last draft class, and we're going to get a few more in this current one. So we have quite a few guys that we're going to be looking towards here. That's an open throw. Wow, the safety split that so bad. What a throw to Xavier Lee. But we're going to have 3 safeties with development, and then Sheldon Dennis. It's Julius Buford getting to the outside down to the 7. Huge pickup for Julius Buford. But we'll probably have to move Sheldon Dennis to, I'm assuming, a linebacker position, make him more of a sub linebacker. Will probably be the best move for him, since we're going to want those pure safeties back there in the back. And Sheldon Dennis has been great, but he's an animal in the run-stopping defense, and his size and athleticism is just going to be so good for being a big bruiser linebacker up the middle, plugging the gaps. So we couldn't pick it up on 4th down as we went for it. Just didn't like the angle of the field goal from that situation. Our kicker is notorious for missing any and all kicks from that angle, as that is a 4th down situation. Sheldon Dennis getting yet another sack. See, I would think he would just be so good at the linebacker spot, sending him blitzing off the edge. I think it's going to be a solid move. I'd love to see what you guys think in the comments, but I'm thinking that's probably going to be one of our best bets. Great spin from Evan. Wide receiver is going to be also another issue. I'd love to get Vernon Lyle a little bit more involved, as that was way too low of a throw. Because Vernon Lyle had such a really good season for us the first season that he was playing, but just kind of fell in the depth chart. He is normal development, and he has a lot of skill caps, so it's just really, really tough for him to be able to make any progress. He's probably still going to be like a low 70 next season. But starting the 4th quarter, it's 35-0. We kick the field goal. It's good. 38-0. I don't think there's anything coming back from this one, boys. So we end up winning it 41-7. They do score a garbage time touchdown to break the shutout. Of course, they always do. But either way, it was pretty much absolute dominance. Taylor Rambo, another good completion percentage game above 70%. And had 4 touchdowns on the night, holding Marshall to even worse yards. They had 118. We almost had more rushing yards than they had total yards. I saw we had 116. 4 passing touchdowns for Taylor Rambo and 239 yards. Montel only had 60 yards, but still had a pretty solid average. We just ran with quite a lot of people. Darnell Jackson and Ron Marshall leading the team in receptions in that game, both with 4. As Darnell had 17 in a touchdown and Ron Marshall had 70 in a touchdown. Xavier Lee also contributing really well with 63 yards on 3 catches and a touchdown. Defensively, nobody really had that many tackles, but Jimmy Ferreira again having 3 TFLs, and so did Terrell Pace. 2 for Russ Whalen, a sack for Sheldon, Jimmy, and Terrell. And we had an interception for Grayson Reynolds and a pick 6 from DeAndre Harris. Quan Sneed, another free safety, joins the team. Kyle Coleman, the right guard, joins the squad. And Terrell Pace wins the Sun Belt Defensive Player of the Week. Jumping up to number 9 in the country now, Arkansas State is left. Arkansas State is a team that they just absolutely demolished us one time that we played them, and then we finally got our revenge. They're set at 5-5 on the season. Us, we're still undefeated, obviously. And Jalen Raynor, I remember him being a super crafty, crazy good quarterback. I have him just slightly under Pete Pickering for players I just absolutely hate to play against. But he's definitely a top 5, I think, for one of our arch rivals, as he's just such a good player. He's going to scramble out and get sacked from Jimmy Ferreira, getting his 11th sack of the season, tying Wyatt Wright. Who is going to win down the stretch? That's the question. Jimmy Ferreira or Wyatt Wright? Who is going to win down the stretch? But Taylor Rambo coming back out on top to start the drive for our first offensive possession, as Montel Major getting a nice 10-yard gain. Offensive line definitely getting better at the run blocking scheme, as Montel almost looks like he could have taken that one too. Gonna fake the handoff to Montel and just go down for the sack. Nobody open fast enough. Just gonna bring up a 2nd down and long situation. Quick throw to Xavier, what a catch. 3rd and 9. A little bit more manageable, but just nobody open. Another sack, and we're gonna have to punt the ball away. Back to Arkansas State, as it's basically like nothing even happened. What a punt down to the 9. Our punter's really been killing it lately. As, oh my goodness, somebody find a way to bring this man down, as he's all the way down to the 35. Wow, what a run. Incomplete pass, made him drop it on the hit out of bounds. And we're just going to find a way to gang tackle this man down to a 3rd and 8 situation. It is manageable. There's nobody there for the screen pass. And he gets leveled from Terrell Pace, but he's going to get the first. Swarming defense holds Jalen Raynor, as he's only going to get a loss of 2. And they go back to the screen. 3rd and 5. Draw play. Good tackle. Good tackle there, as it's going to bring up a punt. Jared Moma making that nice tackle. He's starting to come on a little bit more strong as of late. Got that safety, well, half a safety in the game 2 games ago. And getting that nice run stop right there. Good throw from Taylor Rambo. A huge gain to Darnell Jackson, as that is our basically wide receiver 1. Cole Turner is supposed to be wide receiver 1, but he's going to lose another 4 yards. He just really hasn't been wide out 1 for us. Darnell Jackson has been the man. And it's just really sad to see that Darnell Jackson is a senior and he will not be back next year. Ron Marshall, good pickup. End of the first quarter, yet again, 0-0. We have a running back comparison. Both Cedric Hawkins and Montel Major both having some real nice outings. Difference is Montel Major is a freshman. Good throw over the middle. Is that Mankins? Yes, he's going to hold on to it, and it brings up a 2nd and 5. Mankins looking to have a bigger role also in the upcoming year next year, as he's going to be taking over the tight end 2 spot. Darnell Jackson, though, is going to get in for the touchdown. And we are up 7-0. So Arkansas State just going to continue to go back to the run game, as it hasn't really been working that crazy for them, but they did have that one nice run that they broke off. 3rd and 5 situation. Quick throw to the out route, and it's so good. What a cut move. And he's going to be brought down after the 50. So they're into our territory, and now the running lanes are starting to open up, as he just gets right through them. And a huge pickup of about 15 yards. 2nd and 8. Little draw play, and the help tackle is going to bring him to a 3rd and 2. Gonna go read option, and right up the middle gets the 1st down. And they are driving pretty well. Are they going to tie up this game? That is a good jumping catch from the tight end. Just has a height difference on Terrell Pace there. And what a cut move. And he's going to be down to the 1st and goal at the 7. Another read option. Not much. 2nd down and goal. Up the middle. And wow, how do we hold him out? Bring him to a 3rd and goal situation. Can we stay short? Everybody stay where we need to. Yes. Gets him to 4th down. They're going for the field goal, and wow, they actually do make it. I feel like half of them about missed. So 7-3 is your score now, as Julius Buford's going to get an opportunity to take this one out, and he gets a few. So back on offense, can we continue to put the pressure on as Montel Major is going to get a nice run to the outside, and Montel Major's got some speed. He's going down the sideline to the 10, all the way in for the touchdown. A huge touchdown for Montel Major. That's got to be the longest touchdown of his career. He's starting to break off more and more of these massive runs, and they are leading to some explosive scores, earning him just more and more snaps. Is that run right there? It was like 70-something yards. I mean, I think he's got a legit chance at hitting 1,000 yards rushing by the end of the season. I think he's somewhere in the 700s right now, as that was almost picked. 3rd and 9 situation. Dropping back to throw, dumps it off to the tight end, and not much. Gives us an opportunity to at least put up some sort of effort here before the half, as we have just under 2 minutes remaining. We'll try to just do a little fake handoff since he's been tearing them up today, and we'll throw it underneath to Ron Marshall for a nice pickup. So we're already with just 30 yards away, and it's a huge sack. The blitz came home, and Taylor was not able to get rid of it there, as that's another... Oh, he barely gets rid of it. Thought for sure he was going to get sacked there. So it's 3rd and 20. Throws it over to Darnell Jackson, who's going to pick it up and get to the 11. Darnell Jackson finding a way to get open when we need him to. Taylor Rambo just going to scramble out with it, and he can't get into the end zone. 13 seconds left. 2nd and 3. Throws it over to Ron Marshall for another touchdown. And Ron Marshall's getting closer and closer to breaking the single-season receiving yard record that Adam Randall had last year with 10. It's actually 12. For some reason I said 10, but he had 12 touchdowns. Adam Randall had 12 last season. But so it's 21-3 at the half. Montel Major just, again, 6 rushes for 112 yards and a touchdown. He is starting to find his footing here in the next level of football play. And we'll be starting off with the ball. We have an opportunity to really bust this thing open. Oh, I thought he was going to bring that thing out. Evan Rhodes so close. His excel, I think, is just not enough to really make him as elusive as we want him to be. But that's a good little corner route, and it's going to be a perfect throw to Xavier Lee. Great vision from Taylor Rambo to find the open man and get the huge gain all the way down to the 30-yard line again. Runs it off to Montel Major, who's going to get a nice gain. Just finding a way to... Oh, okay, that was close. Looked like the corner was backpedaling a little bit, so Taylor felt safe to throw that. As we get it off to Lamar Mankins, who's going to get a nice gain. Over 200 yards passing for Taylor Rambo now, and we'll run it off to Montel Major, who's going to cut back upfield, gets down to the 1. Took 3 guys to bring him down, but that was so good. Just going to have to throw it out of bounds. Good awareness for Taylor Rambo to not take that sack, and we'll get it off to Cole Turner, who's going to find a way to get into the end zone. That's about the only way he even touches the ball. He is just never open. I don't know if maybe we're just not seeing the plays right. You can definitely let me know in the comments, but I don't think Cole Turner is open very often. I think our main guys that are open are the guys that have been receiving the ball. But a huge sack for Deshaun Conway is going to set them up with a 3rd and a mile situation. And he's going to throw an interception to Sheldon Dennis, who's going to take it in for a 6-yard pick 6. 6 yards. He threw a terrible pass. This man is 1.5 feet taller than your receiver, and he's running a flat route. That is not gonna be great for you, as that was almost intercepted too. Terrell Pace laying the wood on that guy. Oh my gosh, making him look silly out there. Good spin move. As it's 35-3 with just 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Another sack for Deshaun Conway. We have really been getting a lot more sacks as of late. Been trying to send a lot more pressure. Once we're ahead in games like this, we're sending a lot more blitzes because we know that they're going to have to pass. But instead, they're going to run the ball anyway and gets a huge gain. So sometimes it comes back to bite you, but sometimes it works out in your favor. 2nd down and 12 after the loss of about 2. Going to go to the wide receiver screen and a good open field tackle from Grayson. 3rd and 4. Throws it and it's intercepted by Sheldon Dennis again. And I don't know if he's going to be fast enough to bring this guy all the way back. But he's back to the 35-yard line. And Sheldon Dennis just basically himself said, all right, I'll just end the game. Sheldon Dennis has more points than their entire team does. As we end the game 45-3, Sheldon Dennis would have beat them 7-3. Or even if you don't count the field goal, he would have won 6-3. Ridiculous game for us entirely. Just an all-out dominant win against a lesser opponent. And it's looking like this is one of the times that we might, if we win this conference championship, we might need to move to a different division. Taylor Rainbow, though, had 72% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns for his second game in a row. Montel Mage ended up only needing 11 carries to get to 136 yards and a touchdown. Ron Marshall and Darnell Jackson both had 4 catches. Ron had 59 and a touchdown, and Darnell had 96 and a touchdown. I like how Cole Turner has -3 yards and a touchdown. That's ridiculous, actually. Sheldon Dennis leading the team in tackles. He was just an all-out animal today, getting a TFL, 2 interceptions, 1 for a touchdown. He just absolutely balled out in every avenue of the game. Grayson Reynolds, Russ Whalen, and Deshaun Conway also getting 7 tackles. 3 TFLs for Deshaun Conway, including 2 sacks. Jimmy Ferreira getting 2 TFLs and adding another sack to his column. And right end Hudson Isaac is going to commit. Tyree Fleming, the wide receiver, also commits. And Sheldon Dennis ends up getting the Sunbelt Defensive Player of the Week. Moving up slowly but surely, but up to number 8 in the standings now, as we have 1 game to go against Coastal Carolina. So the rivalry game, continuing to play it. Coastal Carolina versus West Carolina. This is senior night. This is the final night of the regular season as well. So we're going to wear some of these Coastal Carolina blue jerseys. We'll be playing against Christian Washington. I do remember that name. I feel like he was kind of a backup running back, but just kind of went off last year for them as well. As he's just going to start off doing that just right immediately again with a nice 13-yard carry. And why wouldn't you just continue to give the ball back to him as he gets another 6? So it looks like it's going to be a real quick dunk game for us that we'll have to play, as they are looking real good so far as he breaks a tackle and gets the first. No huddle is also going to be a problem. I love going against no huddle every single game that we play. Definitely makes our team absolutely gassed, as there's going to be a flag and he just runs with it and picks up the first. Oh, luckily it's on them though. The hold is going to send them back. We're talking over some of the seniors. Again, we have quite a few receivers that are going to be seniors in this season that we won't be able to play with anymore looking forward, as their QB's just going to scramble for a huge game. Well, Cole Turner, Darnell Jackson, and Marcus Wright, all 3 of them are done after the season. Marcus Wright was huge for us in the first season, but just kind of fell behind. His overall wasn't high enough, just didn't have enough development. He just kind of ended up becoming irrelevant about halfway through last season, as their QB is just killing us. We're going to have to find a way to do something against them, because he is just scrambling around us all day. Good hit from Jadion. Brings up a 2nd down and 3. Runs it off to Washington, and he's going to get the first. Going to get the first, and he drops it. What a drop from the tight end there, giving us an opportunity. He fumbles the ball. Do we pick it up? Grayson Reynolds is going to fall on it. We just need to hurry up and snap the next play, because I don't even want to look and see if that was an accurate fumble or not, because I kind of feel like he was down, but I don't want to give them the opportunity to challenge that. Spencer Kishball looks like he forced this fumble. I don't know at all. I think we need to snap this thing quick. So we'll just try to snap this thing as fast as possible, give it to the fullback, and gets a nice gain. But on defensive side of the ball, Nick Campbell, the defensive tackle, he was a transfer in a little bit ago. He is a senior this year. We're going to be losing him. We're also going to be losing quite a bit of our linebacking core, as that is, what a throw. A little comeback there on that corner route. It was kind of underthrown, but it ended up being perfect. But Terrell Pace, Wyatt Jadion, Wyatt Wright, Ethan Blackwood, all 4 of those linebackers we're going to be losing next year, which is another reason that we really are going to need to probably move Sheldon Dennis over to the linebacker spot, because we're just going to need bodies down there. We don't lose any corners, but we are going to lose Grayson Reynolds, who has really been an underrated stud for us all season, and really most of the other seasons as well. He really has just been a really good player for us, as that is a wide open route to the wheel route, and Grayson Reynolds, who we're talking about, is going to end up getting to him and pushes him out of bounds to keep him from a touchdown. But Sheldon Dennis is going to get another sack on his campaign. Great season for him. Bringing up a 2nd and long. Jamal Mitchell was a corner, but we moved him over to safety so he could play the slot. He's also a senior this year, so he will be leaving too. And that about rounds up the seniors. So a couple notable seniors. Wyatt Wright's going to be definitely a missed senior for sure. On the defense side of the ball, same with Grayson Reynolds. I definitely am going to have a problem with filling the void between those two, as they're just going to run right up the middle and score a touchdown. So to be honest, they're taking the lead 7-0 here at the end of the first quarter. Offense is just so cold right now. We got to really focus up and get some points. It all starts with a good return. Can Evan Rhodes get us an opportunity? 24 is not bad. Not bad at all. We'll go out to Cole Turner, and he's going to fumble the football, and it's picked up by Coastal Carolina. We're going to challenge that. I think he was down. Looks like his knee goes down there. Or not knee, but his forearm goes down. His elbow goes down. I think he's definitely down. Ref's talking it over a little bit, and we will be right. So we're going to get the ball back on offense. The fumble goes away, and instead he just sits there and takes a massive shot and brings up a 3rd and 6. There we go. Open man to Xavier Lee, and he's going to pick up the first. I feel like on offense, though, Darnell Jackson is probably going to be our most missed. Wow, Xavier Lee was wide open. Taylor Rambo just didn't have enough throw power to get it to him. As that's a nice little throw out to Montel Meja. He gets a huge gain all the way down to just outside the 30. Montel Meja in the passing game also working out significantly better than what we had hoped for. Anthony Allen going to get an opportunity to run the ball, and he runs through some people and gets the first down. Inside the red zone, Darnell Jackson, the senior, gets a few. Definitely going to be sad to see him leave, as he's one of the best original players on the roster, too. Oh, we'll try to run it. Can't get in. Back to the pass situation. Throws it, and it's dropped. Oh, he definitely hit him right where he needed to, but just could not hold on to it. Taylor Rambo just going to run with it, and he gets the touchdown. He thought about throwing it, but we don't want to make a turnover down here, especially down points, because we're the better team. We don't want them to be hanging around for too long. Kicking the ball off. Tied game. 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Can we get a stop? As they're going to run the ball out to the left, breaks a tackle, and gets a yard. Really looked like he gained more than a yard on that one. But Russ Whalen just shooting the gap, and he goes down. Apparently he's injured, but that was a massive play from Russ Whalen, making him lose a couple yards. Future is bright with him for sure. Overthrows the receiver. Christian Washington, too. I think that was the running back. He definitely had him by a few steps, but overthrew him. And Evan Rhodes to the outside. He's got some speed. I don't know if he's going to get past him, but no, he gets to the punter. And we start the ball at the 11-yard line. Good little RPO game. Out to Lamar for 5. Motioning in the receiver. That could have been picked. That should have been picked. But instead, it's a big drop. Really big drop. Wide open receiver. Touchdown. Ron Marshall gets another one. I think Ron Marshall's going to break that record. He's definitely close. Gonna throw it, and not anything really at all. 2nd down and 8, and what a cut move from Christian Washington. Tyron Smithfield definitely lays a hit on him, though. Getting them to a 2nd down and 11 situation. Nowhere to go. 3rd and 7. Really important pickup, and he throws it into the back of the linebacker's leg. So it's gonna be a punt. Again, putting us in an ideal spot to be able to put up another score before the half and try to milk out as much of the clock as possible. Great play design for Ron Marshall and a good pickup. Ron Marshall is just, he's always open on half those plays. Like, he's always open and he's got good hands. Montel Meja in space, though, is dangerous, and he's going to pick up a huge gain all the way down inside the 30-yard line in just 3 plays. Motioning over the receiver, making it look like a little bit of a screen play. It is not. And he just doesn't have anybody open. Not going to pull the trigger there. 2nd down and 10. Wait for the safe play. That is not a safe play, but he almost came down with it, kind of. That was definitely not a safe play. Throwing that one. Good, perfect throw. And a huge pickup. Down to the 5. Taylor Rambo schooling out of the pocket, has to throw it away. Tried to kind of have a little boot to move off to the side. And he's going to have it this time, and it's a wide open touchdown. We're going to see if we can hit the zig, but instead, we'll just run it in. So they're going to have another opportunity to score here, but they run right into Jimmy Ferreira, who gets a sack. The third sack of the game for this Megalodon defense, and we have them rattled. We have this QB for sure rattled right now, as Christian Washington is the only man who's doing anything, and he gets another huge gain. He has now 83 yards. Throwing that one in, how was that not intercepted by Sheldon Dennis? That thing whizzed right by Sheldon Dennis's head, and it's going to be not a touchdown somehow. His whole body is laying into the end zone, but it is not a touchdown. Great tackle behind the line. Going to run right into Nick Campbell. So it's 2 sacks in a row. And there's a flag. Somebody jumped. Jimmy Ferreira. Jimmy Ferreira. Neutral zone infraction is going to give them a little bit more yards. They're going to try to scramble out of the pocket, and he can't get to it. And I think they're going to run out of time. I don't think they have enough time to be able to snap a field. They don't. A huge tackle. Unreal that they just lost their opportunity to score any points in that drive. That's terrible game management. Just horrendous game management, as we're going to get the ball to start the half too. I mean, we put up some points here. We really could put them in a huge bind. 2nd down and 9. Little RPO, just going to hand the ball off to Montel. 3rd down and 8. Underneath is Xavier Lee, just enough to pick up the first. 1st and 10 situation, runs the ball with Montel Meja, gets a huge gain of 8. Continuing to keep the run plays going, keep the play action going. And oh, no chance there. Good rush from this Coastal Carolina team. This is one of the bitter rivals. We've played them every single year. And that is a great read, great find from Taylor Rambo. Finding a late throw open. He's going to do a little pitch play off to Montel Meja, who's going to get a massive gain all the way down inside the 15. Montel Meja put the team on his back as he just breaks a record. He has officially hit the 1,000-yard rushing mark in the season. A freshman record, a just huge, huge feat for him. I don't think he has a chance to break the single season rushing record. He's going to have to go off, and we're definitely going to have to make it to the college football playoff and win it, as he's just going to walk in for another touchdown. And no way I don't think he breaks the rushing touchdown record either, but I think the career ones are more than in his grasp. If we play enough seasons of this, I think he will be the record holder until we find another player better than him. 2nd down and 10. Little juke move for Christian Washington. What a play. Oh my gosh. Grayson Reynolds, though, making one of the plays of the day, to be honest. That tackle really could have been a huge momentum difference maker. I mean, if they score on this drive, it doesn't maybe make as big of a difference. But that was an open field tackle after multiple moves. And yep, instead it's going to be an interception for DeAndre Harris. So yeah, what a tackle from Grayson Reynolds, because if he doesn't make that tackle, that's a 7-point swing. And they have so much momentum after getting like an 80-yard touchdown. So instead, we'll hand the ball off to our star running back, and Montel's going to get a nice gain. We're just going to continue to try to feed him the ball and mix in this play-action game. When he's got 99 play-action, you got to use it. Montel Meja getting a huge gain. It just helps so much when you have a good run game, when you can have this play-action game that just is so effective. So continue to try to pound the rock and get him more and more touches. Montel Meja going out to the outside, and he powers his way forward for a huge gain. Gonna motion a receiver over, fakes the jet touch pass, and is gonna hand it off to Montel, who's gonna get himself down to the 5. 2nd down and 3 situation. A little more motion. Hands it off to Buford, who's gonna get to the 2. Julius Buford, I believe, is also a senior. Didn't really mention him earlier since he doesn't play that much. But Darnell Jackson gets in for a touchdown. Another touchdown for Darnell Jackson, adding to his resume, as we're up 35-7. And Christian Washington just looks like he's going to take this thing to the house every time he touches the ball. He's up over 100 yards on the day on his 20th carry. Huge hit from Terrell. End of the 3rd quarter, though, is 35-7. Unless they score, like, immediately, this game is done. 2nd down and 8. Throws it on the little zig route, and a good pickup for the first. Just about midfield now. No shot. Bad pass. It was a little bit too low on that throw. And that time he's just going to throw it right at Terrell Pace, who read it so well, but he drops it. And that one also could have been intercepted, but Russ Whalen with a huge hit over the middle, jarring that ball loose. He's going to be such a good primetime safety. And that's a wide open player for a touchdown. Great anticipation from their QB to hit that post route over the top. Just a great read. They put up some more points, but they're just kicking the ball like normal away to us. I don't think that they even believe they have a shot at coming back on this one. And we're going to end up losing 3 yards to Darnell. 2nd down and 13. It's going to be a fumble, and it's going to be picked up by Coastal Carolina. Okay, well, maybe they do have an opportunity, actually, to win this game. What is happening in this game? What is literally happening? 1st and goal, running the ball back to Christian Washington yet again. And they're just going to continue to pound the rock to this guy. He's been leveled twice in a row. I didn't figure they were going to try it again, as he just throws it into the dirt. 4th and goal. Pretty much all the marbles, and I don't know what he just did, but he threw the ball into the dirt again. And that basically just allows us to run out the clock. So we end up both getting another score or so. It ends up 49-21. West Carolina is going to complete the undefeated 12-0 season. Taylor Rainbow definitely had a lot more incompletions in that one. He was under some intense heat from this Coastal Carolina pass rush. But ended up 19 for 32 for 248 yards and 2 touchdowns. Montel Major having 86 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Taylor Rambo had 2 touchdowns. Xavier Lee 5 catches for 74. Darnell Jackson 5 catches, 43 yards and a touchdown. And Ron Marshall had 62 yards over the air and a touchdown also. 10 tackles for Grayson Reynolds, including one of the game-saving tackles. Sheldon Dennis had 8 of them. 2 TFLs for Nick, Jimmy, and Terrell. And 2 sacks yet again for Jimmy Ferreira, as he is looking to try to have that sack leader award. 2 interceptions for DeAndre Harris, including 1 pick 6. Brett Proctor, the left guard, is going to commit to the program. Stan Goodman, defensive tackle, commits. DeAndre Harris ends up winning the Sun Belt Defensive Player of the Week for his efforts. And we're going to be playing in the conference championship game against Troy, who's number 12 in the country. And we actually played them earlier this season and won pretty handily. Looking at the stats for the season so far at the end of the regular season, right before the post game, so these stats will still count onto these records. But Taylor Rambo has just under 2,900 yards passing. He has 30 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Completion percentage significantly better than it was in the previous season, as he's just getting slowly better and better every season. But he has officially tied, again, the record for passing touchdowns. He could easily break that with another one, and he's only 2 touchdowns away from tying the career record of 62 touchdowns. Rushing-wise, Montel Major getting over 1,000 yards rushing, and he has 10 touchdowns, so he's not going to break the rushing touchdown record, and he's still like 370 or 380 yards away from the rushing record. He might be able to do it, but he's going to have to completely ball out the last couple games of the season, and we're definitely going to have to win at least 1 game in the playoff. Ron Marshall leading the team in receiving yards. Wow, interesting actually. He's got 795 of them and 8 touchdowns. Darnell Jackson leading the team in receptions with 54. He's got 75 yards receiving and 9 touchdowns. He actually is the touchdown leader. Xavier Lee having 36 catches for 593 yards and 5 touchdowns. Poole Turner, again, just having an off season, not that spectacular when your running back's basically tied with who was supposed to be your number 1 receiver. Defensively, Sheldon Dennis leading the team in tackles with 77 of them. Grayson Allen not too far behind with 71. TFL's Jimmy Ferreira and Wyatt Wright both broke the record for TFL's. 21 was the previous record, so we'll see where it ends at the end of it. Jimmy Ferreira with 13 sacks, 11 for Wyatt Wright. And wow, Sheldon Dennis has 8 sacks, which is ridiculous considering 9 was the previous single season record. So our safety is almost breaking the record. That's insane, actually. Interceptions, DeAndre Harris has really shot up. He's got 5. The record is 6, so he's only 1 away from tying it, 2 away from beating it. 10 deflections for Terrell Pace is also pretty solid. And we have a handful of defensive touchdowns. But hey guys, we'll pick up in the next video against Troy for the conference championship game. We'll also play all the bowl games. We'll play the college football playoff and see how far we get. Are we going to bring the Natty home? That would be ridiculous. But can we at least win our 2nd straight conference championship game? If we do, I think it's probably time that we're going to move on to another conference. Probably either the ACC or the SEC. One of those teams would make the most sense. But that'll help us have a little bit harder competition to play every year. Because right now, the way our team's improving so quickly, we probably have a shot realistically to go undefeated in Sun Belt play every single season. And that's just not as entertaining. We want to have some close matchups. We want to win games, but we want to have a little bit better games than blowing out all of our opponents because we're going to be probably 5 to 10 overalls better than them in every category across the board. But let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next one, but until then, why don't you check out one of these videos.